I have gone to Florida with his family for the past 5 years for at least part of Christmas. Every other year, I returned before him to spend Christmas Day with my family. This year is the first time in a long time that all the other siblings are able to overlap dates. My fiancé has major FOMO, which is why this is a sensitive subject. His parents have always been weird about keeping their family close. They've never said it outright, but little things suggest they don't consider me completely part of their family, yet since we aren't married. Also, my parents are away overseas dealing with a grandparent emergency. My mom has been kept in the loop, though, and is trying to come back as soon as she can. My fiancé and I, 31-year-old male and 31-year-old female, are expecting our first baby due December 30th. His family has a vacation home in Florida, and they have gone every year during the holidays for about a month until after New Year. He agreed not to go this year because of the baby, but his family is insisting that he go and come back on the 28th, which is ample time before the baby is due. So he bought a ticket for December 15th, 28th. His reasoning is that his parents really want him there, and his siblings will also be going. This is bothering me a lot more than I thought, because I know pregnancies are unpredictable, especially in the last trimester, and if anything happens leading up to the due date, I need him there. My parents are away until December 26th, and my friends have their families, so I will be completely alone. The other reason, and I guess it's more selfish, is that I will be spending Christmas by myself. It's not the main reason why I'm bothered, but it's a small part of it. He's been spending Christmas every year in Florida since he was 15, and there will be many more trips after the baby is born. I don't know why he has to go this year. Anytime I bring it up, it results in a very uncomfortable fight about my expectations to put me first rather than his parents. I don't even bring it up anymore. His parents have always been kind to me, but they also don't see any problem. So I think I'm going crazy? Am I the idiot here? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Your fiancé is putting his personal happiness as a priority over you and your baby. This is what he's going to continue to do for years to come, despite you and your baby becoming his primary family, because he will always put his parents first. This man is not ready to raise a child because he's still acting like a one with how dependent he is on mommy and daddy. He's not husband material either. Not the idiot. Comment 2. Not the idiot, but if he can't put his future spouse as his priority over his parents, he isn't ready to leave them. And this is huge. Anything can happen, and he's okay leaving his pregnant partner alone that is close to the due date. On Christmas, no less. Learn from this. If he's ditching you while heavily pregnant on Christmas because his parents are his priority, he isn't husband material. Comment 3. Are you kidding me? They are all leaving a pregnant woman alone on the holidays at the absolute end of her pregnancy? This is not appropriate behavior for your fiancé, your partner, the father of this child. FFS. Not the idiot ETA. OMG. I'm so ticked off for you. This is not loving, caring behavior. Now, for the update. It's been a month since I posted about my fiancé leaving for a family vacation in Florida, close to our baby's due date. I wish I had happier news, but things took an unexpected and heartbreaking turn. Only a week after he left, I went into early labor. It was terrifying. I was alone, in pain, and I couldn't reach him because he was deep sea fishing, a trip of a lifetime thing he couldn't pass up. By the time I got to the hospital and they managed to get him on the phone, I was already in active labor, and there was no way he could make it back in time. Our beautiful baby boy was born with complications. It was the most joyous and simultaneously soul-crushing moment of my life as I held our son for the first and, as it turned out, the last time. He fought hard for 2 days, and I was there for every breath, every tiny squeeze of his hand. My fiancé arrived too late, and the guilt in his eyes when he finally walked into the NICU is something that will haunt me forever. We're both grieving now, in our own ways, and it's like we're miles apart even when we're in the same room. I look at him and I see the man who wasn't there, who chose a fleeting experience over our little family when we needed him most. He keeps saying sorry, but the word has lost all meaning. I don't know how to move forward from this, or if I even want to. I spent Christmas with a small angel in my arms, not in the way I had dreamed. There were no first family photos with Santa hats or baby's first Christmas ornament. Instead, there were monitors and hushed words from the nurses. Now the house is painfully silent, the nursery untouched, and the future we were supposed to have together feels like it's been swept out from under us. I'm trying to navigate this overwhelming loss and the crater it's left in my heart. My trust in him is shattered, and I don't know if it's something that can be rebuilt. I'm not sure where we go from here, and that uncertainty is a heavy weight to carry on top of everything else. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your fiancé should have prioritized being there for the birth over a vacation. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event, and now you both missed out on those precious first and final moments with your child. It's understandable to feel betrayed, and it's going to take a lot of work to rebuild that trust. Grief counseling might help you both navigate these rough waters. Comment 2. You're the idiot. I know it's hard to hear, but your fiancé couldn't have known you'd go into labor early. It's a tragic situation, but holding on to anger won't bring your baby back. It's important to support each other and grieve together. Your fiancé is likely feeling guilty and devastated too. Try to find forgiveness and heal as a couple. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry for your loss. You have every right to feel upset. Your partner should have been there for you. Due dates are an estimate, and babies come when they come. You needed support, and they weren't there. It's a big red flag for your relationship, and I hope you take the time you need to decide what's best for you moving forward. Now, for the next story. I am one of 4 and was raised by a single mom. I'm now 19 years old. As a family, we pretty consistently had no money. I was really lucky to be cast in a Broadway show from ages 6 to 10. I also did other work, social media, adverts, catalogs, from the ages of 5 to 12, and continued with smaller parts until I was 16. I did not make a lot of money, like not millions, but I should have enough to go to college. I don't. I also can see that my account was not set up correctly, and the 20% I'm entitled to was not paid in for numerous years. I asked my mom where this money was, and she went crazy, pointing out that she raised 4 kids alone in New York, and her full-time job was making sure I was famous. I'm in no way famous, and don't even want to be. She's now pretty actively forcing my younger brother into acting and social media. I have decided to try and sue for this money because of the fact she's clearly taken so much of my money, and I can't cope with her alternate version of reality. She's also likely to do it now to my brother as well. Am I the idiot for not being considerate of the sacrifices she made to raise us? Edit. A lot of comments saying my family was poor. I want to clarify, we never had any money, but this wasn't necessarily from lack of it. My mom got a 3-bed rent-controlled apartment as part of her divorce with my dad, and all 3 of the fathers of her kids were wealthy and paid child support. We didn't have money because my mom never had a job, but did have 4 young kids and a habit of keeping up. So my mom could go to parties, but we would eat ramen. When I started working, there was more money for us to do things, enjoy things. Sorry, I did not phrase this well to start with. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot she didn't work for that money. And her excuse of having 4 kids is utterly meaningless. Don't have what you can't handle. I'm sure she learned where babies come from when the first was born. Comment 2. Not the idiot, go for it. This was your nest egg for college and it's gone. Does she have assets to liquidate if you win the case? If not, you won't see a penny of it. Comment 3. So instead of actually getting a job, she put you to work and stole your money, and so it was you that paid for your family growing up. Not the idiot, sue her. Now, for the update. The missing money, it turns out, was just the tip of the iceberg. My lawyer unearthed a labyrinth of debt in my name, credit cards and loans I never knew existed, all squandered by my mom, leaving my credit score in ruins. The betrayal stings deeper than I thought possible. My younger brother, the one Mom's been pushing into the spotlight, he's not handling any of this well. The stress at home, the constant bickering, it's like living inside a pressure cooker. Last week, after another explosive argument, he ran away. We found him eventually, at a friend's house, but the fear in those hours, the guilt that maybe this mess drove him to something worse, it's haunting. Mom's not talking to me, not since the lawsuit became real. She's ensconced herself in a world of denial, painting me as the ingrate to anyone who'll listen. The others, my siblings, they're caught in the crossfire, torn between the mother they depend on and the facts that are slowly coming to light. Our home, once a place of laughter and chaos, now feels like a mausoleum of what could have been. And me? I'm unraveling. The show, the lights, the applause. I can't reconcile that child on stage with the stranger staring back at me in the mirror. They say the truth will set you free, but nobody warned me it would first shackle me to a past I can't escape, a present I can't endure, and a future that's never felt so uncertain. As for the lawsuit, it's moving at a glacial pace, each day chipping away at what little hope I have left. I thought seeking justice would bring clarity, a sense of righteousness. Instead, it's just this hollow victory march towards an ending nobody wants, in a story where every page is tinged with regret. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. You're the idiot for not showing more compassion towards your brother. He's clearly a victim of the situation too, and instead of being there for him, you're wrapped up in your own problems. Yes, you have a right to be upset about the money and your credit, but remember, he's just a kid dealing with a family crisis. You could have been his anchor. Instead, he felt so overwhelmed that he ran away. Comment 2. Not the idiot at all. You're going through a lot, and it's unfair that your mother put you in this position. Having to recover stolen money is tough enough, but to then find out about the debt? That's a huge betrayal. You need to protect yourself legally and financially. Your mother's refusal to communicate just adds insult to injury. Hang in there and focus on what's best for you. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your feelings are completely valid. It's not easy to deal with betrayal, especially from a parent. Plus, the stress of legal battles can take a toll on anyone. Don't let guilt over your brother's reaction consume you. You're not responsible for your mother's actions or the impact they've had on the family. It's okay to feel lost right now, but remember, you're fighting for what's rightfully yours. Stay strong. Now, for the next story. My brother, stepbrother, and his wife have always been super close, and they used to do everything together. My sister-in-law is the planner in the trio, so she's always been the one to organize trips and activities, and the guys just go along with it. She was telling me and my stepsister that they were planning to spend the summer in Dubai again next year, when I pointed out that my brother is married now, so she couldn't make summer plans for him anymore. She basically dismissed my comment like his recent marriage was going to have zero impact on their dynamic, because she thinks my brother wants to go since they all had a great time last year. So, I told her that his wife wouldn't want to go and that his wife wanted to have a baby, so she might even be pregnant by next summer, and they really wouldn't go then. I think my sister-in-law is in denial that my brother has changed since things have been different between them after he chose not to tell them he had agreed to have an arranged marriage to someone my dad has always pushed him to date. She claimed I was making things weird, and after I left, she was complaining to my stepsister about how I was jealous of the dynamic my brother has with our stepfamily, and how I was probably the reason my brother's wife hasn't been so welcoming to her and my stepbrother. Am I the idiot? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. not the idiot, but also something you don't need to get involved with at all, besides maybe cluing in your brother that his ex is making plans for his summer next year. Let him deal with it or not. Comment 2. You are not the idiot for providing a reality check. Trust me, if she can't accept it now, it will be a far bigger bullet to dodge in a year's time. Comment 3. No idiots here, but you didn't need to get involved in this dynamic. She's able to reach out to him and talk about his availability now for the update. It's been a while since I mentioned it to my sister-in-law that we should consider my brother's wife's preferences when planning our trips. Despite my efforts to bring us all together, things have only gotten worse. My brother's wife miscarried shortly after my last post. It was devastating, and the whole family was grieving. But while we all rallied around them, it seemed like my sister-in-law couldn't fully grasp the gravity of the situation. Instead of being supportive, she actually tried to plan a getaway to cheer everyone up just a week after it happened. My brother was livid. He couldn't believe she would be so insensitive to think a trip could fix the pain they were enduring. They had a huge falling out, and my sister-in-law accused him of overreacting and said some things that can't be taken back. My brother and his wife have since distanced themselves from her, and it feels like there's this gaping hole where they used to be. To add to the heartache, my stepbrother, her husband, has been caught in the middle, and it's putting a strain on their marriage. He's trying to support his wife, but is also deeply disappointed in how she's handled everything. There's tension every time we're all in a room, and the easy camaraderie we once had is gone. I keep replaying that conversation in my head, wondering if I hadn't said anything, would things be different? But deep down, I know the issue runs deeper than just my comment. It's like watching a family unravel and not knowing how to stop it. We've always been each other's rock, and now it feels like we're just a collection of people bound by memories of better times. It's heartbreaking. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You were just being considerate of your brother's wife's preferences. It's not your fault that she chose an inappropriate time to plan a trip. Grieving a miscarriage isn't the moment for vacation planning. She should have been more sensitive to the family's feelings. It's on her, not you. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Suggesting to include your sister-in-law in planning is one thing, but it seems like you didn't consider the timing or her emotional state post-miscarriage. It's a delicate situation, and maybe pushing for a trip, even with good intentions, was too much pressure for her. Sometimes it's best to just offer support and let people process grief in their own time. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You had good intentions trying to make sure everyone's preferences are considered. It's not your fault that the situation escalated the way it did. Communication is a two-way street, and your brother and his wife also have a responsibility to voice their feelings and set boundaries if they weren't ready for a trip. Don't blame yourself for their reaction. Now, for the next story. Every year, I, female, 31 years old, host a Christmas dinner for a small group of friends to all get together and celebrate. We are all in our early 30s, and the majority of us don't have children. Of those that do, one has organized someone to take care of their child, and the other is a newborn who won't be leaving his mother's arms. The event has always been at my house, a smallish apartment. I have invited 16 people this year and have organized tables, cutlery, dinnerware, and space accordingly. It will be a tight fit. However, it is easily doable with some rearranging. I have exactly 16 dinner sets, as these were purchased weeks ago for the event. 6 days prior to the event, a friend messaged me saying she couldn't find a sitter for her 2 children, 6 and 3, and therefore her and her partner won't be able to attend unless they bring the children. I said that's a shame and left it at that. 4 days prior to the event, she messaged again, stating that we should move the event to a different location so there is space for her to bring the children. I said no. The event is organized and has been planned for over a month. Moving it at this date would be unsuitable. She then says again, well, myself and my partner won't be able to come unless we can bring the girls. I was busy, so I didn't reply immediately, and she messaged again. So, "Can I bring them?" And I said I would let her know. As mentioned, the apartment itself is quite small, so fitting an extra 2 guests at the tables won't be possible. I could possibly give them seats outside on a small deck that I have. However, I haven't met these children and don't know if that would even be suitable. I have discussed with 2 other guests who have children of this age, and they have said children of this age change the dynamic of the event substantially. They aren't at the age where they can entertain themselves. Furthermore, my house is not at all child-friendly. They would have to bring their own plates, cutlery, cups, etc. I don't want to cause a problem in the friend group, and next year, when a few of the group's children are older, I will make the event more child-friendly. However, am I the one at fault for not changing my event substantially with 4 days' notice? Edit. Spelling errors. Edit to add. Thanks, everyone. I've told her it won't be suitable this year and that I'll see them on Sunday. Thanks for all of your guidance. It's hard work being an anxious host, but I appreciate everyone being kind. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Why didn't you just say no to her text? You're not causing a problem with the friend group. Come or don't come, but no kids. Comment 2. Not the idiot. And why could both of them not attend? He could stay home with the kids and she could come. Comment 3. Not the idiot, and she should have left it alone after asking the first time. That makes her the AH. Now, for the update. I decided to have a heart-to-heart with my friend. Her insistence on bringing her kids had caused a bit of tension, and I wanted to clear the air before it affected our friendship. I invited her over for coffee, just the 2 of us, to talk things out. She explained how difficult it was for her to get a reliable sitter over the holidays, and I shared my concerns about space and the event's adult-oriented nature. It turned out to be a deeply honest exchange where we both expressed our feelings without any reservations. We reminisced about past dinners and how much they meant to us, which is why missing one felt so significant. In a moment that felt straight out of a holiday movie, we came up with a solution together. She suggested a pre-Christmas afternoon tea at my apartment the weekend before the big dinner, specifically for friends with kids. This way, the little ones could have their own celebration, and parents wouldn't feel left out of the festivities. The tea party was a hit. We had cookie decorating, a mini tree for them to ornament, and even a surprise visit from Santa, which was just my cousin in a rented suit. But the kids were thrilled. It was a joyful afternoon, filled with laughter and, more importantly, it allowed the children to feel included. When the evening of the actual Christmas dinner arrived, my friend and her partner were able to join us kid-free. They found a sitter last minute. Another guest who couldn't make it to the dinner offered to watch the kids as a Christmas favor. The dinner went off without a hitch, the apartment brimming with holiday cheer, and the conversation flowed as freely as the wine. At the end of the night, my friend pulled me aside to thank me. Our friendship, she said, meant the world to her, especially since I had gone the extra mile to include her entire family in the holiday spirit. This unexpected turn of events not only preserved our friendship, but also strengthened it. Plus, the pre-Christmas tea might just become a new tradition. It's funny how situations that initially seem so daunting can end up bringing us closer together when we approach them with understanding and compassion. Here's to many more years of friendship and festivity. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. You found a creative compromise that respected both your desire for an adults-only dinner and your friend's situation with their kids. It's great that you went the extra mile to organize a separate event to include the children. This shows you value your friendship and the importance of family during the holidays. Plus, starting a new tradition like the pre-Christmas tea party is a wonderful idea that everyone enjoyed. Comment 2. You're the idiot. It's Christmas, a time for families, and that includes children. Excluding them from the main event, even with a separate tea party, seems a bit harsh. While the tea party is a nice gesture, it still segregates the celebrations and makes it seem like kids are a burden. The holidays should be inclusive, and making your friend find a sitter last minute doesn't sound very supportive or festive. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. You communicated with your friend instead of just imposing a no kids rule, and together you came up with a solution that worked for everyone. It's important to have adult time, especially during the stress of the holidays. The kids got their special time, and the adults enjoyed their dinner in peace. It's a win-win, and it might just be the perfect new tradition for your group. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.